Parking brake set. I've arrived safely in New York late last night, and after a short night and a leisurely morning with my coffee and my book, I am ready to go to a new yarn store. And this one is known, I've known it from Instagram as a secret yarn shop in New York. It's actually called HM Nabavian. I have to read it because I cannot remember the name, Nabavian. It's actually 12 minutes from here, which is super good, 12 minutes walking distance, because today is going to be hot. The forecast is for 30 degrees Celsius, and I don't want to spend too long in the streets, so 12 minutes, perfect. The yarn store is in a basement, and you have to find it first. And later today, I will go and meet Michelle. We're going to have ice cream. So I will see you later. This is Globanitter. My name is Caroline. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to New York. So I am back from New York's secret yarn store. The name is HM Nabavian. It's only 12 minutes, as I said before, from walking distance from my hotel, so it's very convenient. It's very close to Koreatown. So if you're into Korean food and Korean beauty products, K-beauty, it's just one step away. And it's easy to find, but it's not easy to find. If you don't know, you would never find it. So it's a door next to a rug shop, and you have to press the doorbell, and they let you in, and then you follow the signs, you go down the stairs, and then you get into a warehouse. And I read comments on the internet that, it's a warehouse, it's not like a local yarn store, it's not as welcoming, blah, blah, blah. So I didn't know what to expect, and actually it's not, yes, it's a warehouse, you know, it's not warm and cozy like a local yarn store, at least. But as soon as I entered, there was already a customer browsing, and the owner greeted me and said, welcome. I asked him if I could take pictures and videos, and he said, as many as you want. So, and then I asked him where the name was coming from, because I find it to be difficult to remember. HM Nabavian, and he said it's his granddad's business. They started as a rug repairing business, because back in the day, 40 years ago, when his granddad started it, it was an area full of rug stores, and everybody was going there to fix their rugs. And now he has the business. His name is Daniel, and he extended it. So now he's doing needlework and yarn, and it's only been 2 years with the yarn. And he's always amazed. He asks me, how did you find this place? I'm always amazed when people find me. And I said, I saw on Instagram. You can browse as much as you want. You can touch the yarn. There's free internet. There's a piece of paper on the table. There's a table with samples, and you can even knit some of the quality of yarn to see what it's like, which I thought, I've never seen this before, it's great. You can touch the yarn, everything. And there's free internet, because in the basement your data doesn't work very well, so it's great that he has free internet. And he told us, me and a few customers, this is internet, if you want to check out patterns or anything, feel free, which I had to, because with the yarn I bought, I fell in love with some yarn, and I wanted to see on Ravelry what everybody else knitted with it. And he has mainly Pasquale, which is a German brand. And he was telling me that he's just ordered yesterday some Rowan yarn, and the way he does it, because I guess he's not a knitter, so he finds a quality that he's going to stock, and he buys the whole colors, the whole collection. So for example, I really liked this, I bought this linen bloom from Pasquale, and he has the whole colors, and but I don't think he stocks them again or reassorts them because a lot of the color were empty. So I guess you have until you don't have. I'm not sure, but this is the impression I got. So this is how the store is. It's rows after rows of yarn, embroidery threads, and tapestry wool. And for every quality of yarn, there's a paper next to it with all the information you need about it, including the price. I really loved being able to touch all the yarn samples. And he has the entire collection of like circular needles. So I bought this because it's so hot outside and I cannot think of knitting winter sweaters yet. So this is linen and I really like the colors. I think it's the kind of colors I wear. For the summer it's perfect. And because I fell in love with the like cables, I bought 2 cables when I was in Boston and I visited the Unruly Stitch. And I didn't know. They're called swivel cords. Now I checked out the names. And they're amazing to knit with if you're using interchangeable circular needles. But I bought this, and it's 3 millimeters and 16 inch, which is 40 centimeters length. So good to make collars, I think. Well, I will try. But yeah. Really, it was a good experience. I'm super happy I found it because it's so close to my hotel. I hope we don't change. There are rumors that we might change soon, but I hope it's not going to be too far because I think he's going to expand his yarn business. He's looking at ways to do it, and the only drawback he has from his location is that he's dependent on a security guard. The security is Monday to Friday, and that's why they're closed on Saturday, Sunday, because otherwise, if he was open, he would have to run up and down to open the door all the time, which is not feasible. And so the store is only open Monday to Friday, 9:30 to 5 p.m. But it's a great store to visit if you're in New York City. For me, it's a great discovery. And there's an armchair for the husband while you browse. So yeah, let me know what you think and if you would want to go and visit it. And you've seen what I bought. And I didn't tell you on the flight over. I don't know if I'm supposed to say or not. I think it doesn't matter because it's past. I didn't know because, you know, I was augmenting, so I sit in first class. Nobody warned me, and I didn't notice. But when I went to the cockpit to do my half of the flying, the first officer said, "Did you see them? Like, did I see whom?" BTS. They're in first class. I said, "What? No, next to me it's only all guys." And then he says, "No, there's two members of BTS, they're behind you. But you know, it's sweet in first class. You only see what's next to you. You don't see who's behind you." So I was, when I went back to my seat for the landing, of course you don't see anything because it's very private. The Switzerland is meant to be private, but when they disembarked, I saw one of them, and of course he's wearing a mask and a hat, and I'm not a BTS fan. If it was a New Kids on the Blocks, different story. And yeah, it's part of the job. A few years ago, I flew the Eagles from Johannesburg to Dubai, and I flew, I don't know if you know her, Nancy Ashram. She's a Lebanese singer from Dubai to Beirut. I guess the cabin crew have more exposure than us. We just hear from them. Or the Eagles, well, we knew about it, but when I went to the toilets, I was talking to one of their musicians. Yeah, so it's the highlight of my day, of my flight. Now is ice cream time. I hope you enjoy visiting this yarn store with me. It was really a pleasure to go there, and it was so easy, 12 minutes, as I said. And I love to walk everywhere, but today is so hot, you don't want to walk for too long. My roster is not easy this month. I forgot to talk about my roster. It's not that easy. I have 3 reserves in Korea, which is nice. It allows me to breathe and do my laundry. And but I have a night turn to Hong Kong. It's for pilots, so I do the way there, and the other 2 pilots fly the way back, so it makes it easier. And then I have a flight to Paris, but Paris, it's a long flight, 14-15 hours there, and we only have 24 hours rest. And we stay at the airport, but not at the airport, just outside the airport. So to go to the city center, I have to take a shuttle from the hotel, and then I have to go to wait for the train. So it takes too long. Unless I take a Lyft to an Uber, it would be maybe 50-60 euro each way. And it's not enough rest. Next to the hotel, there's a big shopping mall, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go shopping. There's a big bookstore, so I'm going to stock up on French books and stock up on French products. And that's it. I'm not going to go yarn shopping in Paris, I'm sorry. And then I go to Guam, and Guam is a tropical island, so I'm just going to chill as well, sunbathe. And finally, I'm going to Amsterdam. It's only 24 hours, but it's super easy to go to city center in Amsterdam. We take a shuttle from the hotel, go to the airport, and from there it's super fast. And I've never taken you to Stefan and Penelope, so I will take you there. And they've moved to a new location, but I've been going there several times. Not since they moved, so I'm curious to see it. I'm going to try and see if there's another yarn store in the city center in Amsterdam. I never really looked for one because I used to go before I started this channel. But if you're from Amsterdam, or if you've been to Amsterdam and you know another yarn store apart from Stephen and Penelope, please let me know, because I would love to visit. And it has to be in the city center, easily accessible, because I only have 24 hours. So I need to get some rest before the flight back. And then I go home after this. So I really hope you enjoyed today's yarn shop. It was a discovery, to tell you the truth, and I will see you next week, probably in Korea. Bisous, bisous! Mwah.